All right, so hopefully yesterday went okay with this information, with this style. Um, we're gonna move on to for Wednesday's lesson, just the same way. We'll review the questions that we did that you were to do independently yesterday, just to go over and see were you on the right track. Did you get the right ones, or did you make those got you mistakes that they're hoping that you go ahead and make? Um, just a forewarning right now, I'm recording with the dogs in the room, so if they get a little restless or whatever, I might take a little quick break just to kind of kick them out of here. All right, otherwise, you're going to hear dogs barking and growling at each other. All right, so let's go ahead and take our journal. We open it up from where we left off yesterday. All right. Everyone should have this passed back to them. That's why your name is on it. There are several names on the board of students from each class period that I've selected to kind of help out our teacher today. So if they haven't already done so, please pass these out along with the pins. If you have to, just go ahead and pause the video until that gets done. Alrighty. So you should have your booklet from yesterday. Again, it has your name, it has your class period, and we're continuing on with perimeter area and volume. So open it up. You have this. Remember, if you're done with your work, you can complete this sheet for additional credit. Along with that, you have your homework that you can also be completing. So there's Tuesdays, and then there's Wednesdays that's very, very similar. Okay? Alrighty, we'll put that off to the side. Alright. So, we have these sheets here. We did the Tuesdays one yesterday. And we have the Wednesday one that we're going to try to do today, or we are going to do today, along with the Wednesday volume. Alright, we're going to put that off to the side just for a bit right now, so that way we can go over the sheet that you were to complete yesterday. And once again, I'm just going to go ahead and fold it in half, just like so. Alright, so let's take a look at the paper that you had yesterday, and let's review it. Let's go over it and see if we have, we're on the right track. Excuse me. All right, so Vicky is building a rectangular addition onto her house. She wants the addition to have a length of 11 feet. I'm going to include the length part because it's our descriptor. Length of 11 feet. And an area of 143 square feet. Okay, and once again, area is letting me know area equals length times width. Here's our diagram. We're showing that one side is 11 feet. The whole area is 143 feet squared. And the question says, how wide must the addition be? How wide is it? All right, so I have area equals length times width. They gave us the area of 143. And they gave us the length is 11. And 11 times something should give me 143. All right, so I remember I could do this several different ways. I can do 11 times something gives me 143, and I could go through my multiplication facts. Probably have to go a little bit bigger than that. If I don't know that, I can also divide. I can divide 11 into 143. So let's try that here on the side just to kind of review that. So I put 11 divided by 143. 11 cannot go into 1. 11 can go into 14 one time. So minus 11 gives me a 3. So right away, these two are wrong. Okay. 4 minus 1 is 3. I bring down the other 3. 11 goes into 33 3 times. Minus 33 gives me 0. So my answer is B. So it's going to be actually 13 times 11 gives me the area of 143 feet squared. Now, I know some of you probably did this. You probably took 11 and you multiplied it by each answer choice. You did process of elimination, Occam's razor, kind of getting rid of answers as you're going down the line. That's perfectly fine too. So you should have found by the second one that 11 times 13 gives me 143. Works perfectly still too. All right? All right, let's move on to number 2. All right, number 2 says, have no idea how to say that name. It's okay. We really don't care what the kid's name is, okay? This kid bought a new bedspread. And there it is. Kind of looks like our paper, right? It's saying which expression shows how to find the area of the bedspread. So I'm looking for the expression. So just the number sentence of the area. Area equals length times width. Okay. So, okay. So right away, I know I'm not going to do D because I'm talking about length times width. Okay. I have 2 here. I have 3 of them. Remember, when I'm multiplying things by 3, all right, I'm actually finding the volume. So that one's probably not it. Now this one, even though there's 3 digits, I'm actually only multiplying 2 things. Whatever 6 plus 9 is times 2. So kind of stuck between these two. All right, so let's find it. It's saying that one of these boxes equals 1 foot. So I actually have to go back in and add it in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this whole side is 6 feet. This side here is 1. Even though I already counted it, I'm still counting it for this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this side is 9 feet. I have a length, I have a width. Area equals length of 9 times 6. Do I have one that looks like that? Oh, can't see it. Yeah, I do. I have letter C. So number 2, I really didn't have to go ahead and do anything other than just write the expression. Area equals 9 times 6. All right. 9 times 6 gives me, was it 54? 54 feet squared equals the area. Okay? All right. Let's go to number 3. Number 3, Tina's making a cloth cover for the top of her laptop. I wouldn't put cloth, it might get too hot. Anyway, her laptop is shown below. So I have a length of 14 inches and width of 18 inches, and it's showing this a height of about ½ inch. Okay? 0 and 5/10 of an inch. What is the area of, in square inches, of the top of Tina's lap? So that's the whole question. What is the area in square inches of the top of Tina's lap? So area equals length times width. All right, length times width. Now, and I'm looking for square inches. Okay, so I'm looking for length times width. Do I care about the height then? No. This one is my length. This one is my width. So, number 3, I'm going to go area equals length times width. The length is 14. The width is 8. 14 times 8. I don't know off the top of my head, right? But I can do the math here on the side. 14 times 8. 8 and 8, 16. 16 and 16 is 32. 8 times 1 is 8. 9, 10, 11. So my answer is 112 inches cubed. So right here, 112. And then I bubble in. All right. Alrighty. All right, so let's go ahead and turn the page. Once again, just a reminder, if you need a reminder, we wrote down these notes for a reason, okay? The perimeter, the distance around a figure. We're adding all the sides. We can do that in several different ways. We have area, the amount of space on a surface. Okay, surface area. We're going to multiply length and width, and we're going to be measured in square units. And there's our formula. And we also have volume, the amount within a figure. Okay, so now we're talking about 3D figures. So around, on top, and then inside. And we're going to multiply length, width, and height. Okay, and we measure those in cubed units. And there's our formula. Again, you have this one. You also have that green mathematics chart in your desk if you still have it in there. Just remember, I'm also going to be giving out brand new ones later on when I get back. All right, so but come back and reference this if we need to. All right, so we go ahead and turn the page. All right, I'm going to do the same thing here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's my line. All right. Today should be, yesterday was January 9th. Today should be January 10th. And we're still going to be doing perimeter, area, and volume. Perimeter, area, and volume. All right. So let's go ahead and go back to our booklet, and we're going to go to this page. Alrighty. Let's go through. I need this one. There we go. And we're going to do, what did we call it yesterday? Practice level 1. We're going to go back to here, practice level 1. All right, so the practice level 1, we're going to put it here today. It's going to be 1B. All right. Letter B says, find the missing length when the area is 24 square units. All right, so let me move this out of the way. There we go. All right, so I'm looking for the missing length. Circle that length. And the area is 24 square units. And 24 is going to box in. 24 square units. Area, again, remember, anytime we see these words, I want to see that formula. So area equals length times width. All right. So right over here, area equals length times width. All right, so the area they told us is 24. They gave us the, well, we're missing the length times, and the width is 6. Okay. All right, go ahead and solve. Find out what is L. What is that missing side? Give about 30 seconds. We ready? Yeah, majority of us are already ready there. Okay, so let's see here. So I can do something times 6 gives me 24. Again, if you know your multiplication facts, as I'm highlighting that L, you already know that answer. Okay? So again, so we can do something times 6 gives me 24, or we can do the inverse. So we do the opposite. So we do 24. Instead, the opposite of multiplication is going to be division. 24 divided by 6 would give me another number. Again, the little triangle cards are beneficial for us practicing this. All right, so 6 times what gives me 24? Anyone? Anyone at all? Anyone? I like how probably some of you were shouting out the answers, and even though I'm not there, you're thinking I'm gonna call on you. I'm pretty sure some of you have raised your hands, at least 1 or 2 of you. Okay. So the answer is 4. Okay, 4 times 6 is 24. So that is my answer, 4. All right, let's go on to number 2B, or not 2B. Okay, here we go. Find the perimeter of the rectangle. Okay, so I'm finding the perimeter. That means I'm going to add all the sides. Okay, it also means I can add 2 of the sides and multiply it by 2. All right, so here we go. I have a length of an 11, a width of 2. That means these other sides are also the same thing. Find the perimeter. Give you about 15 seconds. Go. Okay. Some of you are asking, Mr. Rod, why are we filling in these 2 sides here? Remember I'm saying perimeter means to add all the sides for whatever reason. That's why they don't like putting them there, because they're hoping that you just add the 2 numbers you see, fill in the other 2 sides, okay? It's one of those small little things that can make a big difference for you all, okay? So let's see here. I can add 11 plus 11 plus 2 plus 2. That's perfectly fine. And I can also do it the way it says in our mathematics chart, where it says perimeter equals 2 times my length plus my width, 11 plus 2. So 11 plus 2 is going to go ahead and give me 13 in parentheses. Remember, anytime a number is pressed up against a parenthesis, I'm going to multiply it times 2. 2 times 13 is going to give me 26. And that is the perimeter of that shape. All right. Again, you can do it that way, or you can add all the sides, but I highly suggest you fill in those empty sides there so you won't just think it's 2 numbers. All right, there's measurements for the other ones. All right, let's move on. Here we go. 3B. 3B. All right. Find the missing length. Okay, so here we go. We're finding the missing length again. When the perimeter is 20. So the perimeter is 20. So the perimeter means to add all the sides. All right, so, here's an issue. All right, so I know that if I add all the sides, it's going to go ahead and give me 20. But they're only giving me one of the sides. Well, if they give me this side is 3, then the other side should also be 3. All right. So I know I'm going to go back to this one. I'll go back to the simpler one here. I'm going to put 3 plus 3 plus, I'm going to put L plus L, because I don't know what those 2 are. Okay. So 3 plus 3 is going to give me 6 plus blank plus blank is going to give me a big answer of 20. All right. So how can I do that? Well, I can, first of all, I need to go ahead and take away that 6 from that 20, because I already know that I have 6 of there. So I'll take 6 away from 20. 20 minus 6. Gives me 14. Now, that's not the side, that's not the length, that's not the length of one side here. I'm not going to put 14, and then that means another 14 over here. That means if I added them all together, it'd be way bigger than 20. 14 is the 2 lengths added together. So what are 2 numbers that are the same that I could add together to give me 14? Some of you are already saying it. It's going to go ahead and give me 7. So let's put it here. 7 and 7. Basically, all I did was just divided it by 2, right? Because there's 2 of them here. So I put 7 and 7. So if I add them together, 7 plus 3 is going to give me 10. Plus 7 is 14. Excuse me, 17. 10 plus 7 is 17. 18, 19, 20. So my answer is 7. Again, we're going to be practicing a lot of these in the next couple days. All right, the ones with the missing components and the ones with the irregular shapes. All right, 4B. I don't know why I started it right there. Okay, but anyway. 4B, find the area of the rectangle. Okay, area meaning area equals length times width. Area equals length times width. I'm pretty sure a lot of you can already do that one in your head. Length times width, 5 times 4 is going to give me 20 units squared. So area equals 20. Alrighty. Alright. Go ahead and we'll skip a line right here. And now we're going to do this one. Alright. So, let's do Wednesday. We're going to do number 4, number 5, and number 6. Alright. I want you to do number 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to give you guys about roughly 60 seconds. It's more than enough time. All math, shown just like we've been doing it here in the journal. Go. About 30 more seconds. Alrighty, let's take a look at number 4. There's more than enough time for us to go ahead and figure those 3 questions out. So again, volume equals length times width times height. So now we have 3 of them. So let's take a look at number 4. The length is going to be 6 centimeters times the width is 2 centimeters times the height, which is 3 centimeters. Alright, doesn't matter which order I want to multiply, I can multiply in any order. 2 times 3 is 6, 6 times 6 should give me 36 centimeters, right, centimeters, and it's going to be, because we're multiplying by 3 and we're talking about 3-dimensional objects, centimeters cubed, with the little 3, the exponent 3 right there, okay? Alright. Alright, let's look at number 5. Number 5 again, volume equals length times width times height. Should be 5 centimeters times the width. How wide is it? How far is it coming out? 2 centimeters times the height. How high does it go? 4 centimeters. Length, width, height. Alright. Same thing, I could do it in any order. I can multiply them. 2 times 5 is going to give me 10. I should probably do this, right, because that's how we've been doing it. 10 times 4 should give me 40. And we're talking about centimeters. We're talking about three-dimensional objects. We're talking about volume, 1, 2, 3, so it's going to be cubed. All right. And the last one, number 6. Volume equals length times width times height. The length is 7 centimeters times the width, which is 2 centimeters, times the height, how tall is it, which is 5 centimeters. All right. Same thing, I can choose whichever way. 2 times 5 is going to give me 10. 10 times 7 gives me 70 centimeters cubed. All right. All right. You probably will very, very rarely, we may get maybe 1, maybe 2 if we're lucky, questions that look just like this. It's just straight, hey, do the computation. All right. A lot of the stuff we're going to see is going to be, and you've already noticed it, and some of you are thinking it, mumbling it out loud there, is going to be word problems. Okay, which is the worksheet that we did a little bit yesterday, and we'll continue to move on forward with the other one. Okay. So we're doing this so we can still practice the information. All right, so this one goes. Alrighty. So taking a look here, let's go on to, hopefully this is the right way because my papers fell out of order here. If not, then you just follow along with the ones I'm doing here with you. Alright. Alright, so let's take a look at this one right here. The one with the little window and the little toy box. Alright. So in our notebooks, right here on the side, take a couple spaces, and we're going to write Star Master page, and the page number at the bottom of this one is page number 90 dash, and it's exercise number 2. Alrighty. And we're going to do, we'll label it number 1. So number 1 is where we'll do the actual computation. Even if it's going to ask us just for the expression, we're still going to go ahead and do the extra practice of the actual computation. All right. So for my purposes here, I'm going to go ahead and take my paper, fold it in half just so I could fit everything in frame. Just like so. Alrighty. So let's take a look at the very first one right here. What I want you to do is I'm going to give you 15 seconds to go ahead and make any annotations to this one to figure out what are we finding. Ready? Go. All right. So Tom is building a toy box for his grandson. The toy box is shown below. So here it is. Again, showing us lengths, widths, and heights. So right now, everyone's thinking volume. Okay, but let's go on to the question, because it could be like the one from the last one where it was asking for area. Which expression, number sentence, shows how to find the volume of the toy box? So we are talking about volume. And volume equals length times width times height. Everyone should have that. And the expression is what we have down here, like a number sentence. All right. So let's see here. So my length, how long is it? Well, it is, oh, I should put it here. Swap. There we go. Much better for me. All right. So volume equals length times width times height. All right. My length on this one is going to go ahead and be 3 meters, how long it is, times how wide is it, how far does it come out, 1 meter, times, and then how high is it, 2 meters. So it's 3 times 1 times 2 in any one of those orders, okay, in any one of those orders. All right, so let's take a look at the one I have here that best matches it. Is actually letter A. I'm multiplying all of those numbers. Okay. Letter B has them here, 3 plus 2 plus 1. But remember, when we're adding stuff, we're talking about area. I mean, we're talking about perimeter, and even then, completely wrong numbers, right? But they're hoping that you're thinking of adding. This one here, I'm multiplying two of the numbers and then adding one. No clue where they're getting that from. They're just putting stuff in parentheses. And then 3 plus 1 times 2. All right, remember now this one looks a lot like what we've been practicing with the area. So understanding what is my formula that I'm best using, okay? Now, some of you are going to ask Mr. Rod, why is it that they went ahead and we have 3 times 1 times 2 and they have 3 times 2 times 1, okay? One idea is they're just weird, right? I don't know, but it doesn't, the thing is with multiplication, it doesn't matter which one we do first, okay? So in this situation, all they did was they're still multiplying length times width times height. They're just putting them in a different order, okay? But it doesn't really matter because remember I said they're all going to be multiplied anyway. There's no parentheses. There's no other operation. So we can kind of move them around in any different order, all right? So that's our answer though. 3 times 2 times 1 or 3 times 1 times 2 because it's all going to give me the same thing. All right, so let's go ahead and find it out. 1 times 2 is going to give me 2 times 3 is going to give me 6 meters. And what do I put right here? A little 3, which means also cubed. So 6 meters cubed, or cubed meters. All right, let's put number 2. Okay, please make sure also you're putting some space in between your questions here. I'm noticing a lot of you guys before like putting them right next to each other and it just looks like one giant question. All right, here we go. Number 2. All right, go in, make your annotations, give you about 15 seconds. Go. Alrighty, let's go here. So Cody bought a tablecloth that is 60 inches long. Stop, yes. I'm going to include long because it's a descriptor. Okay, and 40 inches wide. Stop, and yes, the wide because it's the descriptor. Okay, here's our pictorial model showing us what it looks like. Underline the question. What is the area of the tablecloth? What is the area? Area above it. Area equals length times width. Alrighty. So I'm going to be taking those two there. Area equals length times width. It is 60 inches long. 60 times 48. Alright. Find my area. Go. 30 seconds. Alright. And that should be enough time right there. So I'm going to take these two here. Unfortunately, we never learned our 60 multiplications. So we're going to have to do it here on the side. So we'll go 60 times 48. 8 times 0 is 0. 6 times 8 is 48. Alright, get rid of that one. I'm going to add here my spacer. 4 times 0, 0. 4 times 6 is going to give me 24, right? 6 is 12, 12 and 12 is 24. Add them together. 0, 8, 8, 2. Put my comma. My unit, we're talking about inches. And since I'm talking about area, we're multiplying times two things, it's going to be squared inches. So which one do I have here? It's going to be letter C. Very good job. Alrighty. Let's go on to number 3. There it goes. Scott installed 14 feet of trim. Box it in. 14 feet of trim around the window. There's my around part. Okay. What does around mean again? It's gonna helping me tell me that I'm gonna go all the way around. I'm gonna be going the perimeter. Okay. Okay, so he installed 14 feet of trim around the perimeter of the window, shown below. So he's showing here on one side it's 14. It's 1 is 4 feet. If the window is 4 feet tall, how wide is it? So I'm looking for how wide it is. So this side is 4 feet. That means this side is 4 feet. But I don't know the size for here, and I don't know the size for here. Alright, do me a favor. Go ahead and find out how much is one of those sides. If I add all of them together, it gives me 14 feet. Go. 30 seconds. About 10 more seconds. Alrighty, so let's take a look here. So this one looks just like the one we did in our warm-up, which was number 3B. Okay, which you can't see what I'm pointing at. It's the one up here. All right, 3B. So number 3 here is saying that the perimeter equals 14 feet. So if I add all the sides together, it gives me 14 feet. Okay, I already know I have 4 feet here and 4 feet here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and write it like we did up in the top one. I'll put parentheses. I'll put 4 plus 4 in parentheses plus a W plus a W because we don't know what these sides are. Yeah, there you go. Those two. All right. And it's going to all equal 14 feet. So 4 plus 4 is going to give me 8 plus those two W's. All right. Now, what I need to do is I need to take away this 8 from the total amount that we have for our perimeter. Okay? So what I'll do is I'm going to take this 14 and subtract 8 from it. So 14 minus 8 is going to give me 6 equals W plus W. All right, so what two numbers that are the same could I add together to give me 6? So that means it's going to be 3 plus 3 gives me 6. So my answer is 3 feet. Now, that is our expression way of doing it. There's a few of you all that are going, all I did was put in the answers and see if it worked. Yeah, you could do that also. You can have the 4s here and you go, okay, I'm going to put 3. And you can put here 3 and 3. And then you can just add them all together. 3 plus 4 is 7. Plus 3 is going to go ahead and give me 10. Plus 4 is going to give me 14. Hey, that's what I was looking for. Okay, you can do the same thing and just go down the line, putting the numbers in there and then adding them all together. You can do it that way, or you can also do it the expression way. Okay, both ways are completely okay. This one's the math. This one's, again, where I tell you process of elimination. We're getting rid of answers as we're going down the line. Occam's razor, we're kind of shaving it away until we get to the most logical answer. All right. Number 3. Let's go on to number 4. I feel like I'm doing like a countdown or something. Okay, number 4. The new rug in Paul's dining room is shown below. Okay, so they're just showing, why is it check marks? And it's just the design here. There's nothing telling us anything about the shaded parts. Okay, what is the perimeter of the rug? So underline, what is the perimeter? Double underline that perimeter. Perimeter means to add around, right? So I'm going to find out how much it is to go all the way around. But it doesn't tell us. I don't just add 1 and 1 because that 1 is just showing us that how much is one of the boxes. Be real careful with this thing because sometimes I like to put like a 2, a 3, or a 10, right? So we need to know how much we're going to be counting by. Are we counting by ones or are we going to be skip counting by a different number? Okay. In this case, lucky enough, it's just for 1. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me make it so you can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this side is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I get 10. Remember, even though I already counted this one for the one side here, the width, I counted again for the length. Okay? So now I have 10 and 8. What do I do with those two numbers? Do I multiply them? No, if I multiply them, that's going to give me the area. Remember, I'm looking for perimeter, so I'm going to go ahead and add all the sides. That means this side over here is 8, this side is 10. I can add them all. 10 and 8, 18, plus another 8 gives me 26, plus another 10 is 36. I could do that. I can do that here on the side. I could do 10, 10, 8, and 8. Totally works out fine. Good job. Or I could also do 8 plus 10 times 2. Remember, both of these are going to give me the same answer. 10 and 10 is 20, plus 8, 28. That's going to give me 36. 8 and 10 is going to give me 18. 18 times 2 gives me 36. The same thing. My answer is 36 feet. Alrighty. Sounds good. Alright. Let's go ahead and move on to the next page. This one with the little basin, right? The little tub thing. Alright. Skip a line. Ooh, getting close to the end here. Remember, if you're getting close to the end, you can move on to the next page. Or if you've already run out of space and you've moved on to the next page, awesome job. We're going to go star, master, page 91, dash, my exercise is exercise number 3. Alrighty. Number 1. Do I have space? Yeah, okay. Number 1. I'm going to fold the paper so that way I have space here. I probably could have put it underneath the journal, but that's okay. All right. So, don't know how to say that kid's name, but it's okay. I'm just going to skip it. Right? This kid is baking brownies in the pan shown below. Oh, it's a baking pan. Okay. So I have 8 inches, 12 inches, and 1.5 or 1.5 inches. Okay. What is the volume of Kieran's pan? I think that's what it is. Volume. What is the formula for volume again? Everyone should be saying it, mumbling out loud, not shouting it. Volume equals length times width times height. Solve that for me now. Solve that to give you some time on the clock here. Volume equals length times width times height. Alrighty. Let's see here. My length is 12. My width is 8. And my height is 1 5/10. Okay. So, I can go ahead and multiply this out. I'm going to go 12 times 8. 12 times 8 should give me 96 times 1 5/10. Okay, so we should know how to do this one. We're going to multiply 96 times 1 5/10. Now remember, when we're multiplying, I don't have to line up any decimal points. Okay? I ignore that decimal point for right now until afterward. Okay, so here we go. 5 times 6 gives me 30. 5 times 9 is 45. 46, 47, 48. Okay, let's go ahead and scratch it out. Scratch that out because I'm done with it. I go ahead and place here a spacer because I'm now starting in the tens place. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 times 9 is 9. I add these numbers together. 0. 8 and 6 is going to go ahead and give me 14. Nine and 4 gives me 13. And I believe maybe I've made a mistake somewhere. Okay, so what ended up happening here is when I went ahead and put 8 plus 6 was 14. I forgot to carry the 1. Simple mistake. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I made that. So that's actually a 4. Now I come back up here. I go ahead and see how I need to bring this thing back. Remember, I don't bring it down, I bring it back because I don't want to get in that habit of just bringing the decimal down in multiplication. I have 1 place value, so I count 1 place value, put my decimal, and there we are. My answer is D, 144 inches cubed. All right, let's take a look at number 2. Number 2, go ahead, I'm going to give you some time on the clock here to go ahead and annotate, underline, do all the necessary notes and computation to go ahead and solve number 2. I'll read it as you're going. Jim is putting frosting around the border of a cake. The cake is 9 inches wide as shown below. If the total distance around the cake is 44 inches, how long is it? let's take a look here. Jim is putting frosting around a border of a cake. So again, around, I'm talking about perimeter. The cake is 9 inches wide. There's my 9 inches in the descriptor. So here's showing me it's 9 inches. If the total distance around the cake is 44 inches, how long is it? So I'm looking for the length. I'm not sure. And the total distance, remember total can mean, right, add or multiply. It can also mean just, hey, it's all of it. It's all here, right? So it's saying if the total distance around the cake is 44 inches, that means if we were to add all the numbers, the perimeter would be 44 inches. We want to know what are these missing parts. All right, so if this side is 9, the other side is congruent, means the same size, is also 9. Okay? Now, we could do this just like we did on one of the other questions in the very beginning up here. I think it was this one. Yeah, number 3. We do get the same exact way. I can add all the numbers and just go down the line, adding these numbers together. Oh, well, there's one right away. Everyone should be getting rid of letter D. That one makes absolutely no sense. It's way too big. So we can go ahead and go down the line and add them all together. And then just process of elimination, go down the line and see which one, if I add them all here, would give me 44 inches. So, or I can do it the mathematical way. Okay, so let's do the expression way first. Okay, so the perimeter equals 44. So I'm going to have 44 equals 9 plus 9 plus length plus length. Okay, 9 and 9 is going to give me 18 plus L and L. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one away from 14. So I'm going to subtract 18. I have to borrow. That's a 3. Hopefully I don't mess up again like I did right now. 14 minus 8. That's 4, 5, 6. That's 2. Okay. And then 3 minus 1 is going to give me 2. So I had 26 equals L plus L. So I need 2 numbers that I add together that give me 26. So 5 plus 5, no, that gives me 10. No. 13 plus 13 gives me 26. There we go. That is my correct answer. So if I do 13 plus 13, that gives me 26. All right, there we go. Next one, number 3. Okay, now number 3, I'm just going to ask for you to go ahead and annotate, make any kind of notes, all right, and write the expression. We're not going to solve this one, all right? I need to flip over. Go. A college football field is 120 yards long and 53 1/3 yards wide. Which expression would be used to find the perimeter of the field? Ready to go? A college football field is 120 yards long and 53 1/3 yards wide. Underline the question. Which expression should be used to find the perimeter of the field? So perimeter means, again, add all sides or add around. Okay. Alrighty. So, remember what I said? We can always draw it out as well if they don't give us the picture. So it's 120 yards. And this side's going to be 53 1/3 yards. Alright. So they give us two of them here. But perimeter means I need to do all the way around. So that means this side's 120. This side's 120. If this is 53 1/3, this one is also 53 1/3. All right. So right away, I don't see one that shows that we're adding them all together. So we can do the other route here, where we can take the two sides, right? We take 120. Perimeter equals 120 plus 53 1/3. And what are we going to do with those? Yeah, that's right. We're going to go ahead and multiply it times 2. Now put the 2 in the front right there. All right. Do we have any of them here that show that we're, first of all, that we're multiplying by the 2? Well, yeah. So like, see here, 120 plus 53 1/3. That only gives us the distance of only 2 of the sides here. It only shows us this side and this side. Okay? So that one only gives us half the perimeter. 120 minus 53, no. That means we're getting a small, we want to know the distance around something. So, no. We have 2 of them that have times 2. Which one is our correct answer? Be real careful. Our correct answer is A. Correct answer is A. C is actually multiplying these two numbers. They're multiplying the length and the width. Remember, when we're talking about length times width, this is actually talking about area. So that's an incorrect answer. All right. So let's go ahead and try to solve this one. Okay. So let's see here. I have a whole number plus a whole number and a fraction. All right. I'm sorry. Well, so a whole number plus a mixed number. Excuse me. All right. So I can add these just the way they are. Okay. So the first things I want to go ahead and do is I want to add the whole number. So 120 plus 53. So if I do that, 120 plus 53, I end up with 3. 5 plus 2 is 7. And then that 1 is right there. So I end up with 173. Then I add the fractions. Well, 120 doesn't have a fraction. So it's just nothing plus 1/3, which is 1/3. Now I go ahead and times by 2. Okay, 153 times 2. What's that? 153? I'm sorry, 173 times 2. So 2 times 3, I'm going to make an extra skip line here. 2 times 3 is going to give me 6. 2 times 7 is going to give me 14. This time I'm going to remember to put that 1 here. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 more is going to give me 3. 346. Okay? Now, let's see how much we remember. When I multiply, I'm going to go ahead and multiply the 2 times the 1. 2 times 1 is 2. And what happens to my denominator? The denominator is going to stay the same. So my perimeter would equal 346 yards. Well, 346 2/3 yards. Just like that. Alrighty. Let's go with number 4 now. All right, on you. Annotations, underlines, and math, go. I'll read it as you're working. Beverly is making a nameplate for a friend. She wants to glue lit ribbon along the edges of the plate. She has 72 centimeters of ribbon. Which nameplate could Beverly make if she wants to use all of her ribbon? We ready to go? I hear some of you all asking for some more time. Yes, I realize I'm not really there, and some of you made that realization. No, I can't hear you out actually doing it. Okay, so here we go. Okay. So let's take a look here. Beverly is making a nameplate for a friend. She wants to glue ribbon along the edges of the plate. I'm going to underline that one part there because that's giving me a hint that I'm gluing along the edges of the plate. That means I'm going around it. Okay? So if I'm going around the edges, I'm going around it, I'm talking about perimeter. All right. She has 72 centimeters of ribbon. Gotta box that. Which nameplate below could Beverly make if she wants to use all of her ribbon? So all meaning she's not gonna have anything left. Okay, so what I'm gonna have to do here is, first of all, they're giving us 2 of the sides. We're talking about perimeter, so that means I need all the sides, okay? So if this side is 6, the opposite side is 6. This side is 6, the opposite side is 6. So right here, I can actually multiply these, right? 6 times 4, 6 and 6 is 12, 12 and 12 is 24. That's not 72 centimeters. Okay. So same thing here. Now, I can do the same thing. I put 16 and 20, add them all together, put 8 over here. Actually, I should do that. 16, 20, 8, 9, 30, and 42. So I can go through all of them, add them together, or I can just do 2 sides and multiply it. So I can do, let's see here, let's do 8 plus 9. 8 plus 9 is 17 times 2. So 17 times 2 is 77 is 14. Carry the 1. That's 2. That's going to give me 34. So 2 small. Okay. This is going to give me 34. All right, so let's do the next one. I can do 16 plus 20 times 2. 16 plus 20 is going to give me 36. 36 times 2 gives me 72. And that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 72. And that is my correct answer. Very good job, everyone. Very good job. Okay? I forgot to draw my little line, but it's okay. I'm sure you didn't. All right. So, at this point in time, if you are on the right track, you roughly have approximately about an hour, approximately about a little less than half an hour in the class period. What I want you to do is I want you to go ahead and take out your Go Math book, okay? And I want you to turn, I'm going to write it here, Go Math, okay? Your Go Math book, and we're going to do page number 354. Okay, numbers 7 through 12. All right, and what I'll go ahead and do is I'll put it right here so that hopefully everyone can go ahead and see this page. All right, I'm zoomed out as far as I can. Just like that. Okay, you will do your math in your journal, just like we've been doing before. Maybe a little bit higher. There we go. All right. For my people that do not have a Go Math book, please just go ahead and raise your hand for the teacher. And that teacher could either make the decision right now. You can bunk up with somebody that's right next to you. No, you're not going all the way across the room to hang out with your friend. Or you can go ahead and just pause the video here, and you can see everything for the exception of the letter D's down at the bottom for numbers 11 and 12. All right. So, yeah, all right, guys, I'll go ahead and see you guys, knock on wood. Hopefully everything goes all right with my plane. And I should see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.